Hey everyone! The chemistry between Meghan Markle and Patrick j.adams on set has definitely raised eyebrows. It wasn't just about two actors playing their parts well. What was happening behind the scenes seemed to cross a line. Rumors of a secret romance only add fuel to the idea that Meghan's been more focused on personal gain than anything else, no matter who might get hurt along the way. Her past shows a pattern of manipulation, and now there's the possibility that she blurred the lines of professionalism even while being married to a prince. Insiders have noted a clear connection between her and Adams, which suggests she's willing to ignore moral boundaries when it suits her goals. That charm people talk about, it seems like just another tool she uses to win over anyone who could help her. Meghan's tendency to push personal limits and take advantage of situations shows a concerning lack of integrity. From allegedly faking pregnancies to playing the victim whenever it benefits her, it's clear she has no boundaries. Her actions within the royal family, from stepping away from the monarchy to constantly criticizing the institution that gave her prominence, reflect someone driven by self-interest. Her time in Hollywood, whether it's her rumored relationships or the way she shaped her public narrative, paints a picture of someone always looking to play both sides. Meghan seems less interested in love or loyalty and more focused on using her position for fame, power, and control. These recent revelations about her interactions with Adams are just another example of her duplicity, showing her complete disregard for the truth. Meghan's past actions clearly show a pattern of twisting the truth, crossing lines, and using people for her own gain. Her public life seems built on deception, from trying to benefit from the royal family's name to stirring up drama to stay in the spotlight. Let's be honest, if the affair with Adams is true, it's just more proof that Meghan has no real loyalties. Her marriage to Harry appears less like a love story and more like her biggest career move. How long before Harry becomes just another casualty in her constant quest for attention? Over and over, she's shown that she'll betray anyone in her way, whether it's using her Hollywood connections or launching media attacks on the royal family. Meghan has proven to be a master manipulator, using charm and fake compassion as tools to keep the public on her side until she's ready for her next move. As more of the truth comes out, it's getting harder for anyone to take her seriously. Her victim act is wearing thin, and the world is starting to see the real Meghan Markle, a woman whose ambition knows no limits and whose lack of integrity is becoming clear. Her behavior shows that she's not someone to admire, but someone to be questioned and criticized. The recent rumors about her on-set actions, along with her ongoing manipulation of the media, make it clear that Meghan Markle is far from the fairy tale princess she pretends to be. Meghan Markle is nothing more than a calculated opportunist willing to betray even her own husband just to stay in the spotlight. How much longer will the public put up with this before they see through her act? Her constant need to play the victim and make herself look like the one who's been wronged is just another manipulative tactic to avoid facing the consequences of her actions. In reality, Meghan is exactly what her critics have said all along: a self-serving, calculating person who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. As the layers of her deception keep coming undone, it's becoming more and more obvious that Meghan is not a victim but a master manipulator. Her only goal is to elevate herself, even if it means stepping on everyone around her. From her questionable behavior on set with Patrick j.adams to how she's used Harry, the royal family, and the media, Meghan's true colors are finally showing, and they're far from the fairy tale image she's tried to sell. Looking back at Meghan's relationships, there's always been suspicion about her motives, especially when you consider how quickly she moved from one man to the next. The sudden end of her marriage to Trevor Ingleson in 2013 raised eyebrows, and with the growing rumors of her inappropriate closeness to Adams during their time on Suits, it makes people wonder if she had already set her sights elsewhere before her marriage ended. The idea that her bond with Adams might have played a role in the breakdown of her marriage seems entirely possible, especially given Meghan's pattern of behavior. She's never shied away from using relationships to benefit herself. Always strategic, always calculating, she seems ready to trade her personal life for professional gain whenever it suits her. If her relationship with Adams did contribute to her divorce from Ingleson, it only confirms what many already believe, that Meghan values ambition and opportunity above everything else, even if it means walking over the people closest to her. Her ability to move from one man to the next without hesitation is a clear sign of her relentless pursuit of status. Ingleson, a film producer, may have helped Meghan with connections early in her career, but once Suits took off and she had Patrick j.adams by her side, it's easy to see how she might have found someone new to benefit from. Ingleson was quickly cast aside when he no longer fit into her plans, just as she later did with the royal family when they stopped serving her needs. Meghan's pattern of shifting alliances is remarkable. Her relationship with Harry also seems like the next calculated step in her quest for higher status. Marrying into the British royal family was undeniably the biggest role of her life, but even that wasn't enough. Once Meghan realized that the spotlight she craved came with responsibilities she wasn't willing to fulfill, she skillfully maneuvered her way out, pulling Harry along and damaging the monarchy's image in the process. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, how long before Harry faces the same fate as Ingelson? Meghan has a clear history of abandoning those who no longer serve her interests. The grand wedding, the global media attention, and the royal titles might have seemed like a fairy tale, but when the royal life started feeling restrictive, she quickly turned on the very family that welcomed her. Her sense of entitlement seems limitless, and her readiness to manipulate anyone, whether it's former co-stars, ex-husbands, or even the royal family, reveals her true character. Meghan's opportunism is only matched by her skill in playing the victim whenever it benefits her. Whenever her reputation takes a hit, she finds a way to spin the narrative, making herself appear like the one who's been wronged. However, this tactic is wearing thin. The world is beginning to see through Meghan's carefully crafted facade, and people are starting to recognize her for the manipulative, self-serving person she truly is. It's hard not to wonder if Meghan ever genuinely cared about anyone in her life, or if they were simply pawns in her relentless quest for power and influence. From the way she swiftly ended her first marriage to the questionable closeness with Adams and now her strained relationship with the British monarchy, it all points to one thing: Meghan Markle is a master manipulator who has spent her life using others to get ahead. And what about Harry? Once the beloved prince, he now seems like a shadow of his former self, caught in Meghan's web of manipulation. She has isolated him from his family, used his personal struggles for her own gain, and continues to drive a wedge between him and the monarchy. It's heartbreaking to witness, but also infuriating to see someone like Meghan, who seems loyal only to herself, causing so much damage to a family that has been a symbol of stability for the British people. The rumors surrounding her relationship with Adams only add another layer to the already tangled web of deceit that is Meghan Markle's life. If she could betray Ingelson in pursuit of a better opportunity, what's stopping her from eventually doing the same to Harry? Meghan's history shows that once someone is no longer useful, they are quickly discarded. It feels like it's only a matter of time before Harry becomes just another casualty in her quest for fame and fortune. As more details come to light, the picture becomes clearer: Meghan Markle is not a victim. She's a schemer who has skillfully crafted a public image that masks the truth behind a veil of charm and charisma. But that veil is slipping, and soon enough, the world will see Meghan for who she truly is: a woman who has built her life on deception, manipulation, and betrayal. Patrick J. Adams' dismissal of the rumors as tabloid nonsense may have convinced some, but it certainly hasn't put the speculation to rest. In fact, his public denial seemed more like a desperate attempt to protect his reputation than an honest explanation. After all, we've seen time and time again how people in Meghan's orbit quickly fall in line, defending her even when the facts suggest otherwise. It's as if she has a way of wrapping people around her finger, persuading them to bend the truth to suit her narrative. While Adams may have outwardly respected her marriage, who's to say what happened behind closed doors? Meghan's track record doesn't exactly grant her the benefit of the doubt. She's mastered the art of deflection, playing the victim and shifting the blame onto others. What's truly impressive, though transparently manipulative, is how she's managed to convince millions to believe her version of events. It's becoming more apparent that Meghan has perfected the art of crafting a public persona that's far removed from reality. Let's not forget, before anything else, Meghan was an actress. Her ability to play different roles both on screen and in her personal life has no doubt helped her navigate the world of fame and power. She knew exactly how to charm her way into the royal family, portraying the royal family, portraying the role of the perfect partner, humanitarian, and modern princess for the cameras. But as soon as the cameras turned off, the cracks in her carefully constructed image began to show. Behind the scenes, it was all about power plays, manipulation, and decisions that served only her interests. Adams, like others who have crossed paths with Meghan, might just be trying to protect his image and distance himself from the growing scandal surrounding her. Yet, it's hard to ignore the striking similarities between her behavior with Adams and her overall pattern of using people to further her own agenda. Whether or not anything inappropriate actually happened between them, it still fits the mold of Meghan's opportunistic approach to relationships, getting close to those who could boost her career and then discarding them once they're no longer useful. But the real question is, how long can she keep up the charade? At some point, even her most loyal defenders will have to face the mounting evidence of her calculated actions. The cracks in her facade are growing, and it's only a matter of time before everything falls apart. Meghan can only rely on her carefully crafted speeches and manufactured victimhood for so long before people begin to see through her true intentions. Her relationship with Harry perfectly illustrates this. When they first got together, it seemed like a fairy tale, a Hollywood actress falling in love with a prince. Meghan Markle has built a public persona that many see as empowering, but beneath the surface there's a different story. Her influence over Prince Harry and her distancing from the royal family have raised serious concerns. Has Meghan constructed a narrative that only serves her own interests? Let's dive deeper into her actions and the consequences. From the beginning, Meghan appeared to want control over her own fairy tale. Rather than adapting to the royal lifestyle, she rewrote the script to suit her desires. She convinced Harry to step away from royal duties, a decision that has clearly impacted him. Once a prince with a strong purpose, Harry now seems like a shell of his former self, disconnected from his roots. It's not just about leaving the royal family. Since their departure, Harry has been paraded around Hollywood circles, often appearing more like a prop than a partner. Meghan's rise to fame has only grown, while Harry's role has seemingly diminished. He's become part of her collection, a symbol to showcase in the glittering world of celebrity. Meghan frequently paints herself as a victim of the British press, the royal family, and even her own family. But how many enemies can one person have before it becomes clear that they might be the common denominator? By cutting ties with anyone who challenges her narrative, Meghan continues to position herself as the misunderstood heroine in her own drama. Over time, Meghan has severed relationships with numerous people who no longer align with her story. Whether it's the royal family or her own extended relatives, anyone who doesn't fit her version of events gets pushed aside. This pattern of behavior suggests a relentless need to control her image at all costs. The more Meghan plays this game, the more transparent her motives become. Her actions reveal a desire for power and control rather than a genuine search for peace or reconciliation. While she continues to distance herself from those who question her, the world begins to see through her carefully curated image. Meghan Markle's journey from royalty to Hollywood hasn't been without controversy. As she continues to craft her own narrative, it's clear that she's more interested in control than compromise. But as the world watches her every move, it becomes increasingly obvious that her motivations might not be as noble as she portrays. Meghan Markle's marriage to Prince Harry seems less like a genuine partnership and more like another strategic maneuver in her relentless pursuit of power and status. It almost feels as if Harry is merely the next rung on her social ladder, a stepping stone that took her from Suits to Buckingham Palace and now to Hollywood. Now that she has achieved her goals with him, one has to wonder how much longer she will keep him around, much like her previous relationships with Trevor Engelson and possibly even Patrick j.adams. The irony of Meghan's situation is striking. She appears to believe she is executing the ultimate con, presenting herself to the world as a modern-day Cinderella. However, those who have been paying attention understand a different story. Meghan's journey isn't a classic tale of rags to riches, it's one marked by betrayal, manipulation, and an unyielding drive for power. As she navigates her life, the question remains, will Harry become yet another discarded chapter in her meticulously crafted narrative? The signs suggest that as she continues to seek higher status and influence, he may soon find himself sidelined. Meghan's true motivations are coming into focus, and they reveal a much darker side than her fairy tale image would suggest. She has repeatedly shown that she's willing to step on anyone to achieve her goals. This includes damaging her relationships, her family ties, and even the very institution that provided her the platform she now takes advantage of. It's clear that Meghan will keep portraying herself as the victim, twisting her story to fit whatever situation serves her best. However, the flaws in her narrative are becoming too significant to overlook. With every new scandal and revelation about her actions, it's increasingly obvious that her life is built on manipulation and deceit. The real question is how much longer she can maintain this facade before it all falls apart. While some of her supporters cling to the idea that Meghan is a perpetual victim of a misunderstood world, the rest of us see the truth. This so-called scandal is just the latest in a long series of questionable actions, decisions, and relationships that show her true character. Meghan has always been a master manipulator, whether it's her relationship with Harry, her quick dismissal of Trevor Engelson, or her alleged flirtations with Patrick j.adams. One thing remains consistent: Meghan uses people to get what she wants, and when they've served their purpose, she discards them like yesterday's news. It's frustrating to see the media continue to portray her as a victim when all the evidence suggests otherwise. In the royal world, reputation is everything, and Meghan understood this when she pursued Harry, using it to her full advantage. Her entire public persona, built on empathy, compassion, and wokeness, is simply a cover for her true ambitions. But now the cracks in that facade are starting to show. Even her most loyal fans must wonder if they've been deceived all along. The timing of everything is telling. Meghan, the ever-calculating strategist, clearly saw Harry as a golden opportunity to elevate her status, but how long can she hold on to that? As the house of cards she built begins to collapse, every new revelation about her questionable relationships only reinforces the idea that her entry into the royal family was less about love and more about using her new title for influence, money, and fame. It's no surprise she has always played the victim in every situation, but that strategy is becoming painfully obvious. How much longer can she maintain this act? The undeniable truth is that Meghan's past keeps catching up with her. Despite her efforts to control the narrative and rewrite her history, her actions speak louder than her carefully crafted public statements. Each new detail about her life, from her broken friendships to her crumbling first marriage, paints a clearer picture of someone more focused on advancing her career and social status than on maintaining genuine relationships. Meghan Markle doesn't build bridges, she burns them. Honestly, no one should be surprised by this latest revelation. The rumors about her past indiscretions, from cheating scandals to manipulative behavior, have been around for years. What's shocking isn't that this is happening, but that people are still taken aback by it. How many times does she have to reveal her true colors before everyone wakes up and sees her for who she really is? This so-called scandal is just a small part of a larger issue with Meghan. She has consistently positioned herself as a victim in a world that just doesn't understand her. But how much of her suffering is self-inflicted? Time and again, Meghan has shown she's willing to throw anyone under the bus to maintain her image, whether it's her family, friends, or even the royal family. Let's not forget that this is the same woman who abandoned her father at his lowest point and left her own family in disarray while preaching about family values and compassion. Of course, Meghan's defenders will argue that this latest scandal is just another example of the media attacking her, but when does she stop being the innocent bystander and start taking responsibility for her actions? The pattern is clear: Meghan creates chaos, plays the victim, and then expects everyone to forget the damage she leaves behind. The truth is becoming harder to ignore, even for those who have stood by her all this time. And let's be honest, this isn't just about her personal life. Meghan has weaponized her role in the royal family to shield herself from criticism, turning every legitimate concern about her behavior into an attack on her. Whether it's accusations of bullying, manipulating the media, or these latest allegations, she always has a ready-made excuse for why none of it is her fault. People continue to buy into it, but that facade is starting to crumble. As more stories like this come to light, it's getting increasingly difficult for Meghan to hide behind her royal title and carefully crafted image. The world is starting to see her for who she truly is: not the progressive, modern duchess she claims to be, but a cold, calculating opportunist who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. What's perhaps most tragic in all of this is the damage Meghan has caused, not only to herself but also to those around her. Harry, once a beloved figure, has seen his reputation tarnished because of his association with her. The royal family, long seen as a symbol of stability and tradition, has been rocked by one scandal after another, with Meghan at the center of it all. And for what? So Meghan could satisfy her insatiable need for attention and validation. It's a sad, selfish pursuit that has left countless people in its wake. As more details about Meghan's past and present come to light, one thing becomes increasingly clear: she is not the heroine of this story. She's the antagonist, the one who creates chaos and division wherever she goes. As the public continues to scrutinize her every move, it's becoming more apparent that Meghan Markle's fall from grace is not just inevitable, it's already happening, and she has no one to blame but herself. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Meghan's true colors are finally being revealed?